Welcome, crypto fam, to No One Daily Bitcoin Pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as Bitcoin leads first major weekly crypto ETP outflows of this year at $430 million. We'll also be discussing why Bitcoin is better than the Fort Knox gold, which hasn't been audited in roughly 60 years. We'll also be discussing Sleuth says new evidence links Jack Dorsey to Bitcoin like never before. Is Jack Dorsey Satoshi? We'll be discussing this, as well as Argentine lawyers hit Javier Milei with fraud charges over a class action Libra lawsuit. Other headlines: meme coin critics only bitch when left out of the insider deals, according to the Libra founder, who was just interviewed by CoffeeZilla, in which I watched this morning. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as Libra creators tied to Melania and other short-lived meme coins. All this. We'll also be discussing the latest from the High Priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, as well as Bitcoin's path to 1.5 million. ARK invests' ultra-bullish Bitcoin roadmap via Cathie Wood. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. If you're new to the stream, important to smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, then hit that bell icon. Turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto newsletters every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode number 1908. I'm your host, JV. It is Monday, President's Day, so happy President's Day. It's February 17th, 2025. Markets are correcting. Bitcoin maintaining above 95,600 at the time of the live stream, but down roughly 1,400 on the day. And kicking it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day, you should be able to see Coin 360 on your screen. Bitcoin 95.8. We have Ether finally back in the green above 2,700. But very modest gain on the day as the majority of the alts are correcting and in the red. Checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 3.17 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap just shy of 1.9 trillion. We got roughly 93 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours, up 63% on the day. And the Bitcoin dominance is 59.7%, with the Ether dominance at 10.3%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got Sonic up 7.5%, Optimism up 6%, and Bera up 5%. Let me know which alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. Holla. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the daily, and I would dare say maybe 60-40 red over green. Zooming out on the monthly, it's like 90-10 Rec City red over green. And checking out the crypto green and fair index, today we're at 51 neutral, yesterday at 54, last week at 43, and last month at 77 in extreme grade. And checking out the time chain calendar, we have 165,800 blocks until the next halving of 2028, and we're on block height number 884,200, and you can currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,045 sats. So pick up the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. Yeah, some astrology for the broskies. Let's pull up some of the live charts. We'll start with the 1 minute, work our way back. So here on the 1 minute chart, this is live and in the flesh via Coinbase, via TradingView. For those that don't know, Coinbase is the largest crypto exchange, at least in the United States, so we typically use this for our charts. But as you can see, we do have a target sitting at 96.9 on the 1 minute chart. We're currently sitting just above 95.7 in the flesh, and we also have a green target just north of where we're currently at, but still just shy of 96. And zooming out from the 1 minute, we'll go to the 1 hour. 1 hour chart has a rising wedge formation. It's been trading sideways here today and a little downwards, but nonetheless, we still have some bull targets you can see on your screen. One of them in the blue, sitting just shy of 106,000, which would take us about 3,000 away from price discovery, which means the current all-time high. Next leg up, in my humble opinion, is going to take us between 120 to 130,000 once we could re-enter price discovery. And checking out the red target, also bullish, just shy of 104,000. All this on the 1 hour chart. Zooming out from here, take a quick look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour chart says we're going up forever, JV. There is the orange bull target of 130,000. Let me know when you feel we'll likely reach this target. And we do have some other targets as well as a rising wedge. We have 109,000 target, which would take us right back to price discovery. And we also have the Red Bull target just shy of 104,000. Zooming out from the 4 hour, take a quick look at the daily. The daily chart has been also ranging sideways. No specific bull targets here, but we do got some bear targets. One of them at 68.7. Now, the only bullish influencer that I can think of is Arthur Hayes right now. He's been calling for 70,000 before we rip forward, but I'm skeptical and sus. I don't think we hit that bottom target. I personally feel the bottom is in, but what do I know? You guys let me know your thoughts. And zooming out from the daily, take a quick look at the weekly. The weekly chart says we have 124,000 cup and handle target in play. We did get a weekly close yesterday, Sunday around 6 p.m. and it looks like it was an itty bitty red candle. And zooming out from the weekly, here's a quick look at the monthly. And on the monthly chart, as you can see, thus far for February, we're forming an itty bitty red. Last month for January was itty bitty green. December, itty bitty red. And November was the most bullish candle we have seen since the inception of the Genesis block. And if you don't know, now you know. Next story headline reads, after the, what is it called? The freeze frame, of course. Bitcoin leads the first major weekly crypto exchange traded product outflows of the year at 430 million. That's right. Crypto ETPs recorded 415 million of outflows of the past trading week. Probably a part of the reason why we haven't been pumping, with Bitcoin leading the sell-off with 430 million of outflows. Bitcoin ETPs are bleeding, which was softened by the inflows of the ETPs tracking the alts, such as Solana, XRP, and SUI. CoinShares research head James Butterfield attributed the outflows to the macroeconomic concerns, specifically the U.S. Fed Chairman Jay Powell's remarks urging patience on rate cuts, along with the higher than expected U.S. inflation data. The crypto ETP outflows last week ended in a 19-week inflow streak, which began amid optimism surrounding the U.S. presidential election. The multi-week inflow streak resulted in crypto investment products amassing 29.4 billion, far surpassing the 16 billion, which was recorded in the first 19 weeks of the U.S. spot ETF launches that began January 11th of last year. Now, I mean, this chart says it all here. Weekly crypto asset inflows by the numbers of the week in late 2024 and early 2025. Now, also, analysts said Bitcoin is highly sensitive to the interest rate expectations, and thus it bore the brunt of investor outflows. Interestingly, there are no corresponding inflows into the short Bitcoin products, which instead saw outflows of 9.6 million. Solana and XRP leading the inflows. Ironic enough, Ether ETP saw a minor outflow of 7 billion last week. Other alts such as Solana and XRP were the biggest winners. Solana saw the largest inflows of any asset, probably because a lot of these meme coins that are launched, the pump and dumps, are on the Solana network, is my 2 Satoshis on that one. Even I think the Javier Milei Libra coin was also a Solana meme coin as well. So Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas and James Seyfarth said the Solana ETF has a 75% chance of approval by the SEC this year in 2025, and they gave XRP a 65% chance. So there you have it. But next story, let's discuss this Fort Knox ordeal. Headline reads, Bitcoin fixes this. Here's why Bitcoin is better than the Fort Knox gold. And I'll share with you a couple of tweets and then we'll dive into the story. Someone shared the other day, Senator Rand Paul calls on Elon Musk's Doge to audit the U.S. gold reserves at Fort Knox to ensure it's really still there. My first instinct, I reposted, I highly doubt the Fort Knox gold reserves are all still there, because unlike the Bitcoin network, which gets audited every 10 minutes, gold has not been audited in over 60 years. And someone wrote here earlier, this was actually breaking news, the Reserve Bank of Australia confirmed the existence of fake gold bars being held at the Bank of England. Don't trust, verify, hashtag Bitcoin. So if there's fake gold bars sitting at the Bank of Australia, I'm pretty confident there's going to be fake gold bars everywhere where it's not audited. Shout out Max Kaiser for bringing this story to my attention. And now let's dive a little deeper. The crypto community is rallying around a renewed push for an audit of the U.S. gold reserves stored at Fort Knox, as Senator Rand Paul calls on Elon's Department of Government Efficiency to investigate. The Kentucky senator on February 16th invited Doge to conduct a gold reserve audit of Fort Knox to ensure it actually stores 147 million ounces of U.S. Department or treasury gold, which is roughly 4,600 tons. Good Lord. Imagine trying to travel with that. Crazy. Paul's calls to audit Fort Knox reserves came in response to Musk addressing a query from the libertarian financial blog Zero Hedge, which highlighted that the reserves have been unchecked for 50 years, since 1974. What can go wrong there? Subject to many conspiracy theories, the question of Fort Knox gold reserves makes a good use case for Bitcoin, which many Bitcoin advocates, including Senator Cynthia Lummis, say Bitcoin fixes this. That's a fact, Jack. Wyoming Senator Lummis shared to reiterate her call to establish a state Bitcoin reserve of the U.S., quoting her here, Bitcoin fixes this. A Bitcoin reserve could be audited anytime, 24/7 with a basic computer. That's right. And the entire network is audited. Every 10 minutes, we get a new block. So unlike physical gold, which requires external audits and trust from third parties that don't deserve our trust, Bitcoin allows anyone to verify ownership, supply, and transactions on the blockchain without the need for intermediaries. Run your own node, broskies. Now, with gold, you have to trust the auditor. And guess what? I don't trust the auditors. Do you guys? With Bitcoin, anyone can be the auditor. And that's very well said. Despite its historical status as a universal store value, gold faced issues with counterfeiting. Well, of course, while the U.S. holds the largest gold reserves globally, concerns over the fake gold bars have emerged in the recent years. And with gold prices constantly rising, cases of fake gold have not been uncommon. Back in 2019, the CEO of Swiss Metals Refinery, Valcombe, acknowledged that gold forgeries were increasingly sophisticated, suggesting thousands of fake gold bars may have gone undetected. And over the years, I've read tons of stories with gold bars being replaced by tungsten and things of this nature. That's why this does not come as a surprise to yours truly. But in contrast, Bitcoin cannot be faked or diluted. You can't fake the bitty. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist, with each Satoshi, the smallest unit of Bitcoin, being trackable on chain. That's right. One bitty can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. Now, quoting Max Kaiser right here, the one and only, you can't counterfeit Bitcoin. It is the only perfect hard money medium of exchange humanity has ever encountered. To own some is to declare freedom from tyranny and governments while declaring sovereignty of self. Very well said. Bitcoin provides individual sovereignty. We cannot say the same about gold and fiat, which perpetuates war and violence. And if you don't know, now you know. Crypto broskies. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think the gold is really all there, or do you think they pulled a fast one? Holla at your boy. And the other question, do you think they'll actually audit the gold reserves? As a former auditor, I am offended. I'm sorry to hear that, Lace. No disrespect to the auditors doing their job, making, decent livings doing so. I'm talking about there's probably people who are paying the auditors to do crooked things, I would imagine, because the lizard folk are at the very top and they're just not honest people, is all I'm trying to say. It's kind of like, it's not that the U.S. government is bad people, because it's made up of a collective of individuals that are hardworking, good individuals. I know people who work for the government who I love. But the thing is, the people in control of the U.S. government are maybe not that trustworthy. That's all I'm trying to say. So no disrespect to the auditors, but I think we should keep everyone accountable and just audit the auditors. Why not? Just saying. It's long gone, says Jerome Smith. Yeah, my guess, it disappeared decades ago, and it's probably all fake. My assumption. But what do I know? Next story of the day. Some believe Jack Dorsey to be Satoshi Nakamoto. So this article caught my attention. Sleuth says new evidence links Jack Dorsey to Bitcoin like never before. He does walk around with that Satoshi shirt all the time, just saying. American entrepreneur Jack Dorsey has again been theorized as secretly being Bitcoin's anonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, in a X post sparking debate again over the one of crypto's biggest mysteries to date. Now, February 15th, the post said president and chief editor of the financial news website Debanked compiled a large list of facts, numbers, and dates related to Bitcoin, and he says it also connected to Dorsey, who has been one of Bitcoin's strongest advocates for over a decade. Others, however, argue the evidence is not definitive. Jack Dorsey, who co-founded Twitter, now known as X, and digital payment firm Square, denied being Satoshi in an April 2020 interview with computer scientist and podcaster Lex Friedman, stating, "No, and if I were, would I tell you?" That's exactly what Satoshi would say. I'm just saying. However, Murray says he believes Dorsey is probably Satoshi, noting Dorsey had shown cypherpunk tendencies since at least 96, the same year Kaiser had the patent on digital currencies. If you don't know, look that one up. While studying computer science at college, such as wearing Hashcash inventor Adam Back's RSA shirt, while later writing a manifesto in 2001 about making a mark in the world without leaving a trace. I mean, that's pretty powerful words right there. But one of Murray's most notable observations was the Bitcoin first transaction took place on Dorsey's mother's birthday, January 11th, while the last Bitcoin block mined by Satoshi supposedly happened on his father's birthday, March 5th. Of 2010. That is very interesting. To reply to the thread, however, BitMEX research scrutinized the theory, noting that it became increasingly difficult to know when Satoshi mined blocks as the Satoshi pattern gradually degraded over time. Murray also said that Satoshi supposedly signed up to the Bitcoin forum on Dorsey's birthday, November 19th. So all these dates, just big coincidences? What are your thoughts, broskies? Meanwhile, Murray claimed the original Bitcoin source code documents are all time-stamped at exactly 4 a.m., though it isn't clear which time zone, a time Dorsey once had in his Twitter profile. Murray claimed Satoshi is said to have used brute force to create the Bitcoin addresses, including one beginning with JD2M, which Murray claims stand for Jack Dorsey to mint. Interesting. Which he says is a reference to Dorsey's former residence at the 2 Mint Plaza in San Francisco. Dorsey, of course, hasn't confirmed this. Satoshi's GMX email was also hacked September 8th of 2014, and Murray claims the hacker tried to extort Satoshi by sharing that he knows about his connection to St. Louis, Missouri. Dorsey was born and raised here. Wow, there's just so many coincidences. Bitcoin and Satoshi in 2009 was a combination of my childhood and my curiosity and everything that I aspired to be and everything I loved. And that's a quote from Jack Dorsey, October 27th of 2023. Murray claims Satoshi also accidentally logged into the internet relay chat January 10th of 2009, which showed a real IP address based in California, where Twitter was based and where Dorsey spent most of his time. Again, he's from San Francisco. Satoshi told people on the Bitcoin forum not to donate Bitcoin to WikiLeaks, said Murray, while noting Twitter was hit with a secret court order to turn over all the information it had on WikiLeaks 9 days later. December 14th, Dorsey wasn't the CEO of Twitter at the time, but remained on the company's board. Murray claims Satoshi last logged into the Bitcoin forum the day before, December 13th. Murray supposedly links supporting evidence to back his claims in 10 to 15 chapters. He written in Dorsey ties to Satoshi, and he's been working on the evidence since at least December 23rd of last year. Dorsey had not addressed these posts nor denied any of them. Several users argued that it's hard to believe Satoshi, a creator of uncensored money, would then censor information as Dorsey's Twitter did following the U.S. government intervention. Well, you have to keep in mind he did not have a choice. I'm sure they probably just would have imprisoned him like they would anyone else, like a Mark Zuckerberg, if they didn't play ball. Just keeping it 100. When you have that type of power and owning a social network, you kind of have to play ball with the government or risk prosecution. In my humble opinion, how does Elon get away with it? That's another story for another time. But anyways, others raised doubt over whether Satoshi would wear a Satoshi shirt in public, and that's precisely what Dorsey did at the Super Bowl, and he's notoriously known for wearing the Satoshi shirt, so you got to keep that in mind. Whether Dorsey created Bitcoin or not, Bitcoin cypherpunk Jameson Lopp criticized Murray for being that guy who accuses someone of being Satoshi without smoking gun evidence. It is a big accusation, so. But anyways, it makes you a massive a-hole, he said, because you're painting a target on them. And that is a great point, because we don't want Satoshi's identity ever revealed, because it does make them a big target. And it's probably best that we just, contemplate who he may or may not be. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. You feel me? And I mean, he's gone anonymous for the past 16 years. So I strongly doubt they'll ever discover with smoking gun evidence precisely who he is. But you guys let me know your thoughts. I think the mystery should remain a mystery. But yeah, let's continue. Next story, Malay. This is actually one of the big stories of the day. I actually took the time to watch the 1 hour or so CoffeeZilla interview with the main developer behind this project. It was very interesting. I'll share my 2 Satoshis after I read some of the headlines and the stories of what's going on here with Javier Milei and the coin, which just got rugged and billions of dollars were shed from the market cap hours after launch, which is pretty sad. But here's some of the headlines. Argentine lawyers hit Milei with fraud charges in a class action lawsuit over Libra coin, which basically went up to like 4.5 billion in market cap within like an hour or so from launch, and then it went crashing right back down. Another headline reads, Libra founder says meme coin critics only bitch when left out of the insider deals. And this is the guy Hayden that CoffeeZilla interviewed. If you guys haven't checked it out, it was pretty insightful. I'll share my thoughts on that later. And also another headline, Libra creators tied to Melania. He did straight up say the dev behind the Libra coin was one of the guys behind the Melania coin rug, which is fascinating to say the least. But I guess we're going to dive right in. Max Kaiser reminds us, no shit coins or rug pulls in El Salvador, thanks to the guardians of Bitcoin maximalism. Come to El Salvador and taste thy freedom. Freedom from shit coins, freedom from rug pulls, freedom from scammers, freedom from fraud, and of course you got to try the Cocoa Max, the greatest drink to ever exist. It's espresso, bean of fire, Bukele coffee brand, coconut meat in that mofo, but that was actually my favorite drink for real, when I attended the Max and Stacy Invitational. It was a great drink. You guys got to try it. It gives you that oomph, if you know what I'm saying, from that espresso. But let's dive a little deeper into this class action lawsuit going down. Argentine lawyers reportedly filed charges against Argentina's president, Javier Milei. I wonder how Trump has a free pass. He can launch the meme coins and nothing happens. Maybe because he was smart enough to fire Gensler before he took office and replace him with a homie called Mr. Sachs, but I digress. In the criminal court for promoting a crypto that briefly pumped and then tanked over the weekend, the Libertad Project native Solana token Libra rallied to a market cap of 4.5 billion on Valentine's Day. After Milei posted about the token on X, it then fell over 94% after he deleted the post promoting accusations of a pump and dump scheme. Womp womp. Lawyers said an engineer, I don't want to say all their names, but they filed a criminal complaint that alleges Milei was complicit in fraud by promoting Libra. And according to the dev, he claims that Javier Milei is one of the good guys. He had no idea that this coin would get rugged by insiders, and that was impossible to avoid sniping and all the shit that goes along with these meme coin launches. Personally, I don't know what to believe, and I guess time will tell. But nonetheless, it's very fascinating. Here was the tweet in which he deleted from his X account, which is not a good look. I mean, you can't delete evidence. It's not like people didn't screenshot it already, so I don't even understand the point there. But anyways, these people accused Milei of violating the public ethics law, which is Argentina's framework for public officials, requiring them to declare asset holdings and conflicts of interest, quoting them here. Within this illicit association, the crime of fraud was committed, in which the president's actions were essential. A judge will be assigned to the case, or it will be referred to a prosecutor for further investigation February 17th, according to the Associated Press. Meanwhile, Argentine lawyer, founder, and associate of the law firm filed a separate legal complaint about Milei promoting Libra. In the statement, in which he is also a member of the Argentine political party, he said he had reported Milei for alleged fraud, negotiations incompatible with public office, price manipulation, and financial crimes. So it's not a good look when you're a president of a country, right? And this is like a big country as well with a large population. And you launch a meme coin and then everyone gets rugged. It's not a good look. Why would you attach your name to that? This can destroy, and probably already has, his entire reputation and all the potential good work he has been doing. So why even get involved? The dev claimed he just don't know anything about crypto. Well, that's a great excuse. I mean, it's the most common one. Oh, I didn't know any better. But you should know better. But, I mean, I don't know what to say. They also said the firm is preparing a class action suit for people who might have invested in the token and lost money, which is practically everybody. In Argentina, the only people that make money in these meme coins, and this is according to the own dev who created it, a part of the launch that I listened to the interview with CoffeeZilla. He basically said all the retail investors lose. The only ones who win are the insiders and the snipers. So why even get involved with these shitty meme coins? I just don't get it. But I digress. After the tokens collapsed, Malay requested the anti-corruption office to investigate all government members, including himself, for potential misconduct, with the findings to be shared with the courts. The presidential office claimed the president was not aware of the details of the project when he endorsed. Why fucking endorse the scam coin? Why? Like, what logic? I don't get it. However, Malay did disclose he held a meeting with KIP protocol representatives in Argentina, where the company informed him about the blockchain project. The KIP protocol, a Web3 company that builds the AI payment infrastructure, said it was the tech consultancy company hired to help distribute the product funds for the local businesses in Argentina. However, it says it didn't create the token or act as a market maker. Some analysts have also raised concerns about the project after discovering Libra's website domain was created hours before the launch, and there is no public owner information. Opposition lawmakers told Reuters he would be launching a request to impeach the president. Now you just gave all of your enemies a reason to attack you. Just a bad look from the jump. What are your thoughts on that? So this dev, again, I watched the interview with CoffeeZilla that he dropped last night. I watched it this morning. It was like a good hour before I went live. He basically, the dev, he said he has access to like $100 million, and he's scared because he thinks governments and people are going to come after him and potentially harm him. He's probably right. So he don't know what to do, and there's no communication between him and the president, and and he just wants out. But too late. What does he do in this situation? He's like, I don't even want any of this money, but now I'm sitting on it. I don't know what to do. Should we donate this to give it back? It was quite a fascinating interview because he was being pretty transparent, the dev. He didn't have to do an hour interview with CoffeeZilla out of all people. But let me know what your thoughts are with this Malay Libra scam coin. Let me know your thoughts if you got to listen to that interview with the dev with CoffeeZilla. Now for our featured story of the day. Check this out. Bitcoin's path to 1.5 million per coin as per ARK Invest's Ultra-Bullish Bitcoin roadmap. And shout out the one and only Cathie Wood, CEO of ARK Invest. Let's break this baby down. The path to 1.5 milli Bitcoin price. That's right. ARK Invest unveiled its Big Ideas 2025 report earlier in the month, highlighting key technological and financial trends expected to shape the future, covering innovations in artificial intelligence, in which Cathie Wood is very bullish on the AI, robotics, energy storage, blockchain technology, and digital assets. The report emphasizes how these disruptive forces can drive exponential growth. 100. And one of its most significant insights is the firm's bullish stance on Bitcoin. Preach, which it sees as a transformative financial asset, gaining the mainstream acceptance, as if Bitcoin needs anyone's acceptance. ARK outlines 3 potential price scenarios for the Bitty by 2030. First, we have the conservative bear case of 300,000 per coin. Then we have the base case, 710,000 per Bitty, and an aggressive bull case predicting a staggering 1.5 million per BTC. These forecasts are based on increasing institutional adoption, Bitcoin's growing role as digital gold, and its integration into the corporate treasuries and nation-state reserves. And Serge, welcome back to the HODL Gang, HODL Gang, HODL Gang. Now, you can see on this chart the 2030 Bitcoin price targets. Again, the bear case by 2030, according to ARK Invest, you can see all the way on the left, shows us a 300,000 price target. And then next, the base case, 710,000, and the bull scenario, 1.5 million. And you can see the price target assumptions, based on some things I'll break here. In the previous years, ARK made similar projections, maintaining its bullish outlook on Bitcoin with a forecast of 1.5 million by 2030. Cathie Wood reiterated this estimate in a recent interview, emphasizing Bitcoin's increasing institutional adoption and its role as a unique asset class. As you know, Bitcoin's resilience in 2024 is a focal point of the Big Ideas 2025 report produced by ARK Invest, particularly the ability to absorb the large sell-offs without a significant price drop. ARK explained the German government's sale of 50,000 Bitcoin, which is crazy because I'm pretty confident right after they sold, Bitcoin went on a tear up over 100%, like ballpark, right? So they lost billions of dollars by selling that Bitcoin, and hopefully the U.S. government will learn from that and stockpile the bitty as Trump proposed, instead of selling and offloading their precious little bitties. And then the Mt. Gox creditor repayments of over 109,000 BTC tested the market, yet the Bitcoin price climbed from 53 to 68. That's right, and the current all-time high, 109.3, reflecting strong demand. Additionally, Bitcoin aggregate cost basis reached an all-time high of $40,980 per bitty, indicating increased investor confidence. My question for y'all who are Bitcoin holders, which I like to assume each and every one of you watching the live stream, did you purchase your average Bitcoin at above or below this 40,000 average price? Let me know. Institutional interest remains a major driver of the Bitcoin projected growth. The report details expanded presence of Bitcoin corporate balance sheets, with a total value rising from 11 billion back in 2023 to 55 billion as of last year, 2024. Moreover, the introduction of the spot Bitcoin ETF, which went live January 11th, approximately a year ago, marked a historic milestone, attracting over 4 billion of inflows the first day of trading. And the volume has eclipsed that of gold, and the gold ETF has been around for 2 decades. Bitcoin ETF, 1 year. So it goes to show you, Bitcoin's overtaking gold. And I think by the time, personally, Bitcoin overtakes the gold market cap, Bitcoin could be several $1 million per coin. Also want to reiterate my personal target. This is coming from JV, just thinking out loud here. So my bear case for this particular cycle, not what Cathie Wood says 2030, just FYI, that's obviously the next cycle. We had a halving in 2024. Right now we're in 2025. The year preceding the halving, historically, we hit the cycle peak. So she's ultimately saying by the time of the next halving cycle peak, she believes we hit these targets. Now, my personal targets for this cycle, I'm a little more bullish than Cathie, but nonetheless, my bear scenario for this year is 222,000. My base case for the broskies is 420, and my bull scenario is 1.1 million. But again, that's this year, not in 2030, which is 5 years out from now. I think these are very doable and realistic targets. And Cathie Wood, she's a very smart lady, as you guys know. It's all going to depend upon the institutional adoption, the nation state adoption, the sovereign wealth funds, and all the money which is going to be flowing into the bitty. And as you know, I just announced it's official. Abu Dhabi of the UAE announced like 455 million worth of the Bitcoin on the balance sheet, but not Bitcoin as we know, but the ETF, BTC. And then David Bailey came out from Bitcoin Magazine saying these numbers are really a lot higher and what they're actually disclosing. You know what I mean? So keep in mind, there's a lot of nations, sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, etc., that are adopting Bitcoin behind the scenes right now. And also, not only are we talking about adoption as a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the United States of America, which would lead into those bull targets that we've been discussing, but also we have the state adoption. There's now 32 or so states in the US which are trying to embrace Bitcoin some way, somehow, whether it's through a strategic reserve or for the treasury, for the pension funds, etc. All this is coming, and it's very interesting as the game theory continues to play out, as Max predicted many years ago, coining it the global hash war. That's what we're witnessing right now in 2025. So who do you think the next big country will be to announce Bitcoin adoption? Let me know. We know it's happening in the Middle East. We know there's massive wealth. We know the total addressable market of the world is probably $800, $900 trillion. We have people like Max and Michael who have predicted, when I say Michael, Mr. Saylor, that have predicted Bitcoin can eat into roughly 15% of the total addressable market over time, which would give us room to run up literally 100x from today's price action Jackson. Anything is possible. And the most bullish target I've ever heard from Michael Saylor was when he was being interviewed by Patrick Bet-David on his podcast. And he straight up asked, Michael, where do you feel, Bitcoin's likely to go? And Michael said, paraphrasing, 100 million per coin. If Bitcoin hit 100 million per coin, let me know how that would transform your life. And let me know if you feel that will happen. I personally think it will happen in my lifetime. And I think Bitcoin will continue to go up forever. It's perfect money. And once perfect money is created, it never needs to be reinvented. Kind of like the wheel. We had this discussion on yesterday's pod. But anyways, fam, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions. And I'll read your comments out loud and welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream.